Fall is here, and that means a couple of things to me. Cider mills, Halloween, concerts, and getting geared up for the holidays. In this video, I am redoing my best top cider mills in Metro Detroit since a lot has changed in the last few years, and there's a new contender for the top spot. In addition to that, because of the great feedback I've had, just like this on our 2021 October Things to Do video, we are doing a video covering cider mills, 2 Halloween videos, one covering adult parties, one covering the kiddos, a top 10 haunted houses, an October 2022 concert, and more. Subscribe to be notified when those go up. My name is Mike Perna. If you're new to the channel, I'm a local real estate agent for over 20 years, have had the privilege and trust to help over 8,000 Metro Detroit families with their home sale and their home purchase. If I can help you, please give me a call or shoot me a text anytime. Also, scope out our 2,200 plus 5-star reviews on Google. Cider mills. Now, as a local Metro Detroiter, I've been going to them just about as long as I can remember, and this year is going to be no different. Fun fact about Michigan cider mills, there are 87 registered cider mills in operation in Michigan right now, second only to New York State. And in the US, there are only 900 total cider mills, so Michigan is coming in strong with almost 10% of all of them. Out of those 87, we're going to cover our 5 honorable mentions, plus our top 5 all-time favorite cider mills for 2022, all of which are on the blog link below with maps, links to their sites, and additional info. Honorable mention number 5, Long Family Orchard Farm and Cider Mill in Commerce Township. The Long Family Orchard Farm and Cider Mill is located in Commerce Township. There's a corn maze, and scope out this aerial shot. It's actually pretty cool. A petting zoo for children, which is open seasonally, and also the property features a large picnic area, a giant jumping pillow, pedal carts, hay rides, and a giant slide. In addition to offering donuts and cider, it also sells apple butter, breads, and pies. When you're visiting, you can also pick your own fruit or buy fruit that's already been picked by the Long Family Orchard staff. They have seasonal vegetables as well that they grow and sell throughout the season, including asparagus, peas, sweet corn, and of course, apples and pumpkins. Not all of them are available all the time, only when they're in season. Honorable mention number 4, the Goodson Cider Mill, best known for its pistachio nut bread, which is actually delightful. Goodson Cider Mill uses a centrifugal press to produce apple cider. Hundreds of jugs are filled each day for visitors to take home with them. The restaurant sells a variety of homemade treats like preserves, jams, jellies, donuts, and candy apples. And on Sundays, the mill schedules a moonwalk, entertainment by a bluegrass band, and a balloon artist. Weekend fall activities include pony rides and a pumpkin patch. Coming in at honorable number 3, Westview Orchards and Winery. Westview Orchards and Winery has been going strong for more than 200 years, opening in 1813 and covering 188 acres of land. From mid-August to the end of October, you can pick from a variety of apples, and you can even pick your own pumpkins from late September on. The property has a children's play area, animal barn, outdoor petting area, and giant slide as well. Honorable mention number 2 is the Albert Orchard and Cider Mill in Manchester, Michigan. This historic mill dates back to the late 1800s and prides itself on more than 150 varieties of apples, including many heirloom varieties unavailable in grocery stores. The cider mill and farm dates back to 1832. The land was actually deeded by President Andrew Jackson himself, the Lion, personally. Visitors can watch Albert's 1890 Mount Gilead cider press in action, typically pressed Thursday through Sundays. Hard cider, donuts, hay rides, live music, and you pick pumpkins are also available. And there's also a winery in the works. One cool thing about Albert's is this year they're going to be moving several barns, so if you go, you can see that happen. And the barns were originally constructed pre-Civil War era. Albert's Orchard is open from noon to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 6 on Saturday, and 10 to 6 on Sunday. Honorable mention number 1, Plymouth Orchards and Cider Mill. Now, this is an organic apple orchard, which is not altogether common in Michigan or at all, and that's part of what makes Plymouth Orchards super unique. It's a working mill, and you can watch while the award-winning cider is made, and the process starts with equipment that peels apple skins within seconds and moves hundreds of apples through the press. The orchard has a pumpkin patch, farm animals, wagon rides, and live music. They also have an organic market with fresh cider, donuts, pies, and produce, and they've worked hard to be fully pesticide-free. And now it's time for the top 5 cider mills 2022 Metro Detroit. Number 5, Parmenter's. Parmenter's in Northville calls themselves an urban cider mill, and with very good reason. It's located in Cabbagetown in Northville, which is walkable right from downtown. It was started in 1873 by a Novillian, Parmenter, nicknamed Madge himself. He served in the Navy during the Civil War during the 1860s and returned to Novi, and then used all of his mustering pay to start the mill. Originally, the mill was powered by a team of horses and produced vinegar. It was run by 5 generations of the same family until 1968 and has been run for the last 30 plus years by Robert and Korean and Nelson. Now this one is a working mill, and you can watch the cider being pressed at the mill between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, or Sundays. They have a ton of apple and fall-inspired foods, including the cider and donuts, and of course apple pie, apple butter, pumpkin butter, donut chips, caramel apples, fresh fudge, cinnamon roasted almonds, honey, and maple syrup. And then there's the chow mill that serves hot dogs and kielbasa. Now across the parking lot is the Northville Winery, which has become a local favorite with wine, hard cider, and beer. They've been making and selling wine and hard cider since 1982, and for the last 10 years have run a tap room where they serve it while having both bands, musicians, and a rotating bevy of food trucks. I've gone a couple of times over the summer and had a great time. My favorite trucks that they've had so far are Slow's Barbecue, Sonny's Burgers, and Brava Empanadas. Number 4 on the list is the Franklin Cider Mill in Franklin, Michigan. Established in 1837, Franklin is now 185 years young. It was originally opened and operated as a grist mill for the first half of its existence. A grist mill is where farmers would take their grain to be ground down to different levels of coarseness and into flour. This is the one that I came to the most often as a kid, and I still pop by regularly today. Also worth noting, the cider produced here is 100% pure and not pasteurized, and no form of preservative is added. It must be kept refrigerated, and the donuts are made almost to order. They also sell smoked beef, a large variety of cheeses, and on select weekends, the mill hosts car and bike shows. This popular, longtime cider mill also features an open-air market, and then the Apple Shack and the Franklin Tent, where you can buy homemade jams, maple syrup, honey, salsas, meats, and cheeses. Grab an apple cheesecake to take with you, because that is my favorite thing at this entire place, and if you've got the kids, on Saturday there's live jazz, and Sunday a magician. Number 3 on the list is Yates. Started in 1863, Yates is a staple of the community and a stop off every time I'm either on an appointment in Rochester or just finding an excuse to pass it to get the cider and the donuts. This is my go-to for their Dutch apple caramel pie, literally the best apple caramel pie in all of Metro Detroit, no contest. Fun fact about Yates, it's one of the few water-powered mills in the area. Their 26-inch water turbine creates the power for the press. They use 10 different types of apples inside their cider, which is what gives Yates the unique flavor, with water supplied from a dam on the Clinton River, carried under the road to the mill by a culvert. They also make their own ice cream, nice to grab in the summer, but scope out this donut, ice cream, and caramel concoction. That, my friends, is what is called a donut sundae. I have not had it, but I'm definitely going back for it. Coming in at number 2 is Weird's in Ypsilanti. Started in 1837, Weird's has been cidering for 185 years, and as of this year is a 7th generation mill. It was started in what's now known as the Willow Run Airport and relocated to Ypsilanti during World War II, when the Willow Run was on full tilt constructing bombers used in Europe. In the 1960s, the country store and the bakery was added on, and if you're an apple bread person, this is the place to get the apple bread. And in the 80s, they also executed on a larger vision, adding their Agra Entertainment Complex, aka a lot more fun stuff, like their giant slide, not to be confused with the Belle Isle slide, those are very different things, hay rides, corn maze petting farm, moonwalk, you pick pumpkins, and the haunted farm. Now they didn't just stop there. From 2000 to 2012, they added more apple trees, mini golf, and of course one of my favorite draws, Night Terrors, the largest haunted park in Michigan at the time and still is, with 5 attractions, including the haunted hay rides, haunted barn, the asylum, the mine shaft, and the alien cage clowns. We covered this extensively in our top 10 haunted houses, which you can see here. Now, tickets are required for the haunted attractions, as well as passes for the kids to enjoy the Firehouse Fun Zone, Learning Barn, Corn Maze, Mini Golf, Old West Rides, Peter Farm, Animal Petting Zoo, and it's super reasonable for a full day, with the fam price of $17.50 on weekdays or $23.50 on weekends. The number 1 cider mill, the top spot this year, is Blake's, and it's so much more than just a cider mill. And talking about Blake's, I'd really like to start with a place that had to drop off from our 2020 list, Irwin's. Running strong for 102 years, there have been rumors of a looming sale for over half a decade of this 4-generation apple orchard. Bill and Linda Irwin, who have been running it for the past 54 years, have been looking for a buyer, but they really wanted the right buyer, someone that would keep the legacy going. The orchard was started by James Irwin with about 140 apple trees, and over time it's grown to 200 acres with 54,000 apple trees, growing 25 varieties of apples and becoming beloved by generations of Michiganders, myself included. You may remember, and I for sure do, several articles that came out in 2017 detailing Pulte came to a deal on the land and had plans to build 300 to 400 homes. As it turned out, this was fake news. No deal had been reached, and the township itself was not in support of it. This summer on July 20th, Bill and Linda did turn the farm over, but to 2 buyers instead of 1. The first one is Lombardo Home Builders. This plan was submitted by Lombardo was for a reduced number of homes, just 161 homes, while keeping the mill, the tasting room, and a large portion of the orchards intact. 70% of it actually. Enter Blake's Orchards, about an hour away to the northeast in Armada and Almont, a 3rd-generation cider mill family. Their intentions are to add their hard cider for sale immediately and build out a 20,000 square foot tasting room with a full-service restaurant right here on the corner of Silver Lake and Kent Roads with a 400-person capacity outdoor patio and add on a 1,000 square foot farmers market. The existing cider mill will be expanded by 12,500 feet with a new press, cafe, and new outdoor space as well. It'll take the Blake several years to pull this whole plan together, and this year you won't see many changes if you pop through Orwin's. Further, Blake's has undergone a pretty rapid extension of fun over the last 30 years that I've been going to it. Started in 1946, Gerald and Lovely Blake bought the 100-acre farm where they raised their 13 kids. Sons Pete and Paul took over the business and expanded it to over 40 types of apples, and in 1968 they built the cider mill, becoming more of a destination spot where you can watch cider being made like at Franklin or at Parmenter's. They also kept growing from there, over 800 acres today, with Irwin's bringing that close to 900 acres. And Paul's son Andrew returned after college just a few years ago, opening the hard cider arm of the business. From then to today, Blake's has grown to 4 locations with 6 main attractions. The newest one being Irwin's in South Lyon, but also Blake's Orchard and Cider Mill, the Tasting Room, and Lovely's Lavender Farm and Artesian Market on Armada Center in Armada, as well as Blake's Big Apple on North Avenue in Armada and Blake's Backyard on Van Dyke in Almont. The tasting room is where they have over 30 ciders, stouts, and IPAs, including their limited runs and experimental runs, which may not actually ever come back. There's a full food menu, and I usually go straight for the chili and the donut bread pudding. There's other stuff, but I haven't made it that far on the menu yet. The greenhouse, nursery, market, and tap room are at Blake's Backyard and is a great shopping experience with some different lunch and dinner menu items from the tasting room and a breakfast menu at the market. Blake's Big Apple is where the family hosts what I think is the most fun and most recent additions, the haunted attractions. There's Spooky Land, which is good fun for all ages with a straw mountain, petting farm, dark cornstalk maze, fun house, and a Halloween movie playing on the big screen. The haunted hay rides recommended to be 7 and up with live actors along the ride in 20 scenes and a cider and donut stop halfway through. Zombie paintball, where you can shoot zombies with a paintball gun from a moving truck, and their 3-story haunted barn. At the heart of all of it, where it all started, is the You Pick Apples, which goes on until today, and Blake's was the first in Michigan to have this feature. Next up, the cider mill, where you can watch the cider being made, and of course, the donuts. So coming in at number 1 with a bullet, and fun fact, I found out what a bullet means recently, and I've been looking for the right place to put it, and I think Blake's is it. Number 1 with a bullet is a music industry reference to a band or performer that's high on the charts, has climbed rapidly, and also has potential for more. So you're on the top and still rising, Blake's. You are number 1 with a bullet. Before we take off, don't forget to subscribe and like this video to help the YouTube algorithm get it out to more people. My name is Mike Perna, local real estate agent here in Metro Detroit, and if we can help you or your family with your next home purchase or home sale, we would be honored to interview for the job of doing so. Thank you again, Metro Detroit, and make it a great day.